Get like a jockey, nigga.
Yo, you
Get like a jockey, nigga.
what's going on? What's going on? I'm live from YouTube. I'm simulcasting also on Facebook. Today is Saturday, January 3rd, 11:40 p.m. Eastern Time. Saturday, January 3rd, 11:40 p.m. Eastern Time. 2006, you heard? What's good? What's good? What's shaking? Wayne, what up, Wayne? Hello, hello, Gontoki. Danny, what up? Let's get it.
Throw that windmill in his face. We forever getting money. You forever gonna be mad. Some like Bunny B. Cause her nigga drop the bag. Shake that ass, ho. When we go get a bag, ho. Cause you don't scare me. Shake that ass, ho. When we go get a bag, ho. Cause you don't scare me. Okay, what's up?
Screaming, oh yeah, you bro, we get some money. We want some more. If you need 10, hit the door. He want this cat, I'm making play. No type of time, I'm making pay. I might just put it in his face. Well, bitch, you burnt out. Well, oh, bitch, I'm turned down. Catching place that out the way. That's my time, I'm trying to fuck, bitch, and right now.
Yeah, we getting money. Yeah, we getting paid. Shake that ass, hit a split. Throw that windmill in his face. We forever getting money. You forever gonna be mad. Some like Bunny B. Cause her nigga drop the bag. Shake that ass, ho. Well, I say, you don't scare me. Shake that ass, ho.
What's going on, man? We got the live starting up. Maduro was caught. Maduro was captured with his wifey.
Bing bang.
That nigga is cooked. But you know these the liberals, the dummies, people that they don't know nothing about politics. These people don't read books. These they don't watch any historical videos. They don't understand politics. They don't understand foreign affairs. People lack abstract thinking. I said that before. They barely can think in logic linearly, you know. So, and I've been following this. Listen, I've been following this issue. This tragedy was been going on with Venezuela for years. It really got bad during 2021 when C-19 hit us. You know, that affected us in America. Imagine in a third world country with a dictator, man.
Bing bang.
It was crazy, bro. People were literally burning money. You heard? People were the money the currency lost its value. You have corrupt officials. You got the drug trade, you know, the narco terrorism. And then let's not forget that Venezuela is our op. You know, Venezuela is allied with Russia, China. I mean, so Cuba, Venezuela. So we you know, we got to check the pattern here. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, no, they just want to get the oil. Trump just want to get the oil." But they don't want to look at the benefits that people in Venezuela and the Venezuelans that are out here in exile or left, they're happy Maduro just got caught. You heard? They're super happy. They're crying tears of joy. We're gonna review videos. Matter of fact, I think Trump is probably live right now. Let me see if I can find that. What is it about? It's plain stupid. That's what I said. Yo, it's more about it's chess. It's strategic. You know. So what is it about, sir? Persian version. Persian version is crazy.
Bing bang.
Persian.
What?
Persian version is crazy, bro. Regional control, of course, like I said already, because Venezuela's a foothold. Venezuela's a foothold, and then Donald Trump said, "Yo, you know what? And we gonna keep the oil or sell it or whatever we want to do with it." You heard? We gonna do whatever we want to do with it. I mean, that's some gangster shit. I don't think people could conceptualize that the world is dog eat dog. It's either you or me, and we have all these Americans. I think I call them sellouts. And I'm not the most politically savvy or astute person. I'm not that well versed, but I have logical thinking. So I know, hey, if I live here in America, I want the best for America because I fucking live here. I grew up here. This is where I'm from. This is where most of my close family are. All my siblings all live here in the United States, spread out. Why wouldn't I want the best for this country if I live here? I don't understand. People are rebels without a cause. The news outlets, social media tells them what to be mad at. Niggas just hate Donald Trump. Niggas is racist, man. Let's be real. Niggas is racist, man. Ain't no other way around it. Let me stop talking and look for this video. Let me see. He's live right now. Let me play this video. He's live right now talking about it. Let's get to it. Hold up. Let me share the screen. Wait, that's not good. Hold up. No, not that. Hold up. Let me get this right. I'm looking at what was the better setting. I think this might be the best setting. Let me play the video.
The now deposed dictator Maduro, Venezuela was increasingly hosting foreign adversaries in our region and acquiring menacing offensive weapons that could threaten U.S. interests and lives. And they used those weapons last night. Potentially in league with the cartels operating along our border. All of these actions were in gross violation of the core principles of American foreign policy, dating back more than 2 centuries. And not anymore. All the way back, it dated to the Monroe Doctrines. And the Monroe Doctrine is a big deal, but we've superseded it by a lot, by a real lot. They now call it the Monroe Document. I don't know. It's Monroe Doctrine. We sort of forgot about it. It was very important, but we forgot about it. We don't forget about it anymore. Under our new national security strategy, American dominance in the Western Hemisphere will never be questioned again. Won't happen. So just in concluding, for decades, other administrations have neglected or even contributed to these growing security threats in the Western Hemisphere. Under the Trump administration, we are reasserting American power in a very powerful way in our home region. And our home region is very different than it was just a short.
Everybody hit that like button, man. Everybody hit that like button. If you're new here, please subscribe. Thank you.
Determined. We have far greater dominance right now. Everyone's coming back to us. The future will be determined by the ability to protect commerce and territory and resources that are core to national security. These are core to our national security. Just like tariffs are, they've made our country rich, and they've made our national security stronger than ever before. But these are the iron laws that have always determined global power. And we're going to keep it that way. We will secure our borders. We will stop the terrorists. We will crash the cartels, and we will defend our citizens against all threats, foreign and domestic. Other presidents may have lacked the courage or whatever to defend America, but I will never allow terrorists and criminals to operate with impunity against the United States. This extremely successful operation should serve as warning to anyone who would threaten American sovereignty or endanger American life.
Yo, come on, bro. You in your chat hating, bro. You in your chat hating. Tear bitch, I mean, listen. He's doing it. He's doing it to benefit us. Other people should get taxed. Why is it that people can import things or send things out here, products and whatnot, they can tax us, but we can't tax them? Nah, it's all term, boy. It's all term. It's all term. Tell me if y'all can hear the video. Can you hear echo? Let me fix that. I'm gonna fix that.
Maduro is finally gone in Venezuela. People are free. They're free again. It's been a long time for them, but they're free. America is a safer nation this morning. It's a prouder nation this morning because it didn't allow this horrible person and this country that was doing very bad things to us. It didn't allow it to happen. And the Western Hemisphere is right now a much safer place to be. So I want to thank everybody for being here. I want to thank General Raisin Kane. He's a fantastic man. I've worked with a lot of generals. I worked with some I didn't like. I worked with some I didn't respect. I worked with some that just weren't good. But this guy is fantastic. I watched last night one of the most precise attacks on sovereignty. I mean, it was an attack for justice. And I'm very proud of him, and I'm very proud of our Secretary of War, Pete Hegseth, who I'm going to ask to say a few words. Thank you very much.
Mr. President, can you explain how the U.S. will run Venezuela?
Well, thank you, Mr. President. Finally, a commander-in-chief the world respects.
Is my microphone good?
And the American people deserve. And as the president said, words can barely capture the bravery and the power and the precision of this historic operation. A massive joint military and law enforcement raid flawlessly executed
in the chat
by the greatest Americans our country has.
I heard somebody told me I had an echo.
American warriors are second to none, the best in the world and the best of our country. What all of us witnessed last night was sheer guts and grit, gallantry, and glory of the American warrior. I'm simply humbled by such men. And I tip my hat to our chairman, Dan Raisin Kane, and all those Americans who stood watch last night. Our warriors are the elite of America. And again, President Trump has your back. No other country on planet Earth, and it's not even close, could pull this kind of operation off. And no other president has ever shown this kind of leadership, courage, and resolve, the most powerful combination the world has ever seen. As the president said, our adversaries remain on notice. America can project our will anywhere, anytime. The coordination, the stealth, the lethality, the precision, the very long arm of American justice, all on full display in the middle of the night. Nicolas Maduro had his chance, just like Iran had their chance, until they didn't and until he didn't. He effed around and he found out. President
Eve to me is basically freedom. It's a giant open universe where you can do whatever you want.
deadly serious about stopping the flow of drugs and poison to our people, deadly serious about getting back the oil that was stolen from us, and deadly serious about reestablishing American deterrence and dominance in the Western Hemisphere. This is about the safety, security, freedom, and prosperity of the American people. This is America first. This is peace through strength. And the United States War Department is proud to help deliver it. Welcome to 2026. And under President Trump, America is back. I'd like to welcome now our Chairman Raisin Kane, to give a few more details about the operation. Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Secretary. Thank you, Mr. President, and good morning.
Can y'all hear me
Last
good?
night, on the order of the President of the United States and in support of a request from the Department of Justice, as the President said, the United States military conducted an apprehension mission in Caracas,
Can y'all hear me
Venezuela, to
good?
bring to justice two indicted persons, Nicolas and Cecilia Maduro. This operation, known as Operation Absolute Resolve, was discreet, precise, and conducted during the darkest hours of January 2nd, and was the culmination of months of planning and rehearsal, an operation that, frankly, only the United States military could undertake. What I'd like to do this morning is talk to you through some of the preparation and the details without compromising any of our tactics, techniques, and procedures. There is always a chance that we'll be tasked to do this type of mission again. Our interagency work began months ago and built on decades of experience of integrating complex air, ground, space, and maritime operations. While the past 2 decades have honed the skills of our special operations forces, this particular mission required every component of our joint force, with soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Guardians working in unison with our intelligence agency partners
Can
and
y'all
law
hear me
enforcement teammates in an unprecedented operation.
Yo.
We leveraged our unmatched intelligence capabilities and our years of experience in hunting terrorists. And we could not have done this mission without the incredible work by various intelligence agencies, including the CIA, NSA, and NGA. We watched, we waited,
Can y'all hear
we
me good?
prepared, we remained patient and professional. This mission was meticulously planned, drawing lessons from decades of missions over the last many years, many missions over these last many years. This was an audacious.
Yo, listen, man. I don't like that. Y'all in the chat and no one could respond to me and tell me that if my mic was working or not. I had to play it back on my phone. That's foul. Y'all moving foul. Yo. That's real wacky. Let's get it.
Operation that only the United States could do.
We got a lot of niggas that voted for Kamala right now in the chat. Let's get it.
It required the utmost of precision and integration within our joint force. And the word integration does not explain the sheer complexity of such a mission. An extraction so precise, it involved more than 150 aircraft launching across the Western Hemisphere in close coordination, all coming together in time and place to layer effects for a single purpose, to get an interdiction force into downtown Caracas while maintaining the element of tactical surprise.
Look at this right here. Look. Wall Street Willie, he got beat up. He got beat up by Dominicans in New York City and Uptown.
Bing bong.
Dominicans beat him up, right? Listen, he's a black guy. And I think he's like part Caribbean, whatever, you know. He says, it's crazy when I hear Hispanics make comments about blacks going to Africa. What are you talking about? You would think the deeper focus would be on removing the Donald's loafers from Latinos' asses. Bro, you got beat up by some Dominican niggas uptown, and you taking it out on me, I guess, online. You're a loser, bro. You a loser, bro. Why you always on here? You never with your kids. You always online bothering me, man. Get out of here, man. We on this, boy.
Failure of one component of
We got another libtard right here. Willie, another libtard.
This well-oiled machine would have endangered the entire mission, and failure is never an option for America's joint force. Those in the air over Caracas last night were willing to give their lives for those on the ground and in the helicopters. Let me talk a little bit about the preparation. After months of work by our intelligence teammates to find Maduro and understand how he moved, where he lived, where he traveled, what he ate, what he wore, what were his pets. In early December, our force was set pending a series of aligned events. Key was choosing the right day to minimize the potential for civilian harm and maximize the element of surprise and minimize the harm to the indicted personnel. So as the president said, they could be brought to justice. And as the president said earlier today, weather in Venezuela is always a factor.
Look at this loser. Look at this loser right here. He doesn't care about what's going on. He wants to talk about the Dominican woman that he paid for, the prostitutes he paid for. This is what he wants to talk about. This guy's a loser, man. YB, what up? Hold on. Boo says, what you talking about? If anything, Hispanics talking badly about Venezuelans because there are so many in other parts of South America, they want them out. Yeah, that's true. I agree with what Trump is doing. Willie, let's not... Bitch, yeah. Prostitutes, bro. Let's not act like there's not prostitutes. There's not prostitutes in Harlem. There's not prostitutes in Harlem. There's not prostitutes in Harlem. Stop playing, bro. You ruining my life.
This time of the year. And over the weeks through Christmas and New Year's, the men and women of the United States military sat ready, patiently waiting for the right triggers to be met and the president to order us into action. Last night, the weather broke just enough, clearing a path that only the most skilled aviators in the world could maneuver through. Ocean, mountain, low cloud ceilings. But when tasked with a mission, this organization does not quit. At 10:46 p.m. Eastern time last night, the president ordered the United States military to move forward with this mission. He said to us, and we appreciate it, Mr. President, good luck and Godspeed. And those words were transmitted to the entire joint force. Over the course of the night, aircraft began launching from 20 different bases on land and sea across the Western Hemisphere. In total, more than 150 aircraft, bombers, fighters, intelligence, reconnaissance, surveillance, rotary wing were in the air last night. Thousands and thousands of hours of experience were airborne. Our youngest crew member was 20, and our oldest crew member was 49. And there's simply no match for American military might. As the night began, the helicopters took off with the extraction force, which included law enforcement officers, and began their flight into Venezuela at 100 feet above the water. As they approached Venezuelan shores, the United States began layering different effects provided by Spacecom, Cybercom, and other members of the interagency to create a pathway. Overhead, those forces were protected by aircraft from the United States Marines, the United States Navy, the United States Air Force, and the Air National Guard. The force included F-22s, F-35s, F-18s, EA-18s, E-2s, B-1 bombers, and other support aircraft, as well as numerous remotely piloted drones. As the force began to approach Caracas, the Joint Air Component began dismantling and disabling the air defense systems in Venezuela, employing weapons to ensure the safe passage of the helicopters into the target area. The goal of our air component was, and always will be to protect the helicopters and the ground force and get them to the target and get them home. As the force crossed the last point of high terrain where they'd been hiding in the clutter, we assessed that we had maintained totally the element of surprise. As the helicopter force ingressed towards the objective at low level, we arrived at Maduro's compound at 1:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 2:01 a.m. Caracas local time, and the apprehension force descended into Maduro's compound and moved with speed, precision, and discipline towards their objective, and isolated the area to ensure the safety and security of the ground force while apprehending the indicted persons. On arrival into the target area, the helicopters came under fire, and they replied with that fire with overwhelming force in self-defense. One of our aircraft was hit, but remained flyable, and as the president said earlier today, all of our aircraft came home, and that aircraft remained flyable during the rest of the mission. As the operation unfolded at the compound, our air and ground intelligence teams provided real-time updates to the ground force, ensuring those forces could safely navigate the complex environment without unnecessary risk. The force remained protected by overhead tactical aviation. Maduro and his wife, both indicted, gave up and were taken into custody by the Department of Justice, assisted by our incredible U.S. military with professionalism and precision, with no loss of U.S. life. After securing the indicted persons, the force began to prep for departure. Helicopters were called in to exfiltrate the extraction force, while fighter aircraft and remotely piloted aircraft provided overhead coverage and suppressive fire. There were multiple self-defense engagements as the force began to withdraw out of Venezuela. The force successfully exfiltrated and returned to their afloat launch bases, and the force was over the water at 3:29 a.m. Eastern Standard Time with indicted persons on board. And both Maduro and his wife were embarked aboard the USS Iwo Jima. In closing, what we've witnessed today is a powerful demonstration of America's joint force. We think, we develop, we train, we rehearse, we debrief, we rehearse again and again, not to get it right, but to ensure that we cannot get it wrong. Our jobs are to integrate combat power so when the order comes, we can deliver overwhelming force at the time and the place of our choosing against any foe anywhere in the world. I am immensely proud today of our joint force and filled with gratitude to represent them here today. There is simply no mission too difficult for these incredible professionals and the families that stand by them and support them. As we stand here this morning, our forces remain in the region at a high state of readiness, prepared to project power, defend themselves, and our interests in the region. This operation is a testament to the dedication and unwavering commitment to justice and our resolve to hold accountable those who threaten peace and stability. In closing, I want to express my heartfelt gratitude to the brave men and women who executed this mission. Their courage and tireless commitment to our nation are what makes us strong. Thank you, Mr. Secretary, and thank you, Mr. President.
All right, let's see what's gonna happen. All right, so real quick, it's still going on. And if anything, if this is done, I will rewind it to the beginning because we did miss probably like 10 minutes of Trump talking. But listen, Puerto Rican Rum says, "Fighter, what do you think this will amount? What do you think this will do about the amount of Venezuelan migrants here in Latin America, PR, DR, Colombia, and Mexico has a ton of Venezuelans now." Yeah, and we know that Venezuelans been in DR for a minute. Even like when you go to the touristic places like resorts and stuff like that, there's more Haitians and Venezuelans damn near than Dominicans. That shit is crazy.
Bing bang.
That shit is crazy. You heard? I think a lot of people are gonna go back home. A lot of these Venezuelans are gonna go back home because the violence is gonna go down. Now the people could breathe. They feel like their homeland is coming back together. Everything's gonna be cohesive again. We're gonna review this live, right? This press conference, and then when this is done, we're gonna rewind it to when Trump was on the podium. So shout out to everybody here. If you're new, press the like button, subscribe, hit the notification. Let's get it. Let's go.
Well, I don't have much to add to what you've heard now, other than the following points. Nicolas Maduro was indicted in 2020 in the United States. He is not the legitimate president of Venezuela. That's not just us saying it. The first Trump administration, the Biden administration, the second Trump administration, none of those three recognized him. He's not recognized by the European Union and multiple countries around the world. He is a fugitive of American justice with a $50 million reward, which I guess we saved $50 million. And
make sure.
Yeah, exactly. But
Don't let anybody claim it.
He said, "Don't let anybody claim it."
What?
Somebody helped you. Somebody helped you get that. I mean, somebody helped you get Maduro. You better pay up that money. Don't be that gangster, Trump.
Nobody deserves it but us.
But I want to be clear about one thing. Nicolas Maduro had multiple opportunities to avoid this. He was provided multiple very, very, very...
That's a fit act. I was saying this on Facebook. Brother, why didn't he turn himself in on time? Now you're booked and your wife is booked.
Bing bang.
Very generous offers, and chose instead to act like a wild man, chose instead to play around. And the result is what we saw tonight. The other message here is the following. You have a guy, like many people around the world, they like to play games. You have a guy who decides he's going to invite Iran into his country, is going to, do the confiscation of American oil companies, is going to flood our country with gang members, is going to take Americans prisoner and try to hold them for hostage and trade them like he was able to do with the Biden administration. Basically likes to play games all this time and thinks nothing's going to happen. And I hope what people now understand is that we have a president. The 47th president of the United States is not a game player. When he tells you that he's going to do something, when tells you he's going to address a problem, he means it. He actions it. I can tell you, I've watched this process now for 14, 15 years, been around it. Everybody talks. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. When I get there, we're going to do this. We're going to take... This is a president of action. Like, I don't understand yet how they haven't figured this out. And now, if you don't know, now you know.
Now you
Because
know.
this is the way it's going to play out. And I think people need to understand that this is not a president that just talks and does letters and press conferences. And, if he says he's serious about something, he means it. And this is something that was a direct threat to the national interest of the United States, and the president addressed it. There's a president of peace, by the way. I told you what I just said earlier. This guy had multiple opportunities to find his way somewhere else and figure out another. He could have been living somewhere else right now, very happy, but instead he wanted to play big boy. And so now, he's got other sets of problems on his hands. And, but I think the message here should be for the world. Look, the president doesn't go out looking for people to pick fights with. He's not generally wants to get along with everybody. We'll talk and meet with anybody, but don't play games. Don't play games with this president's in office, because it's not going to turn out well. And so I hope that, I guess that lesson was learned last night, and we hope it'll be instructive moving forward.
Is that a message for Cuba? Mr. President.
Mr. President.
Mr. President. Mr. President.
Is this a message for Cuba?
Mr. President.
You said that the U.S. is
joke.
going to run Venezuela.
This
So
is not
who's
a
in
joke.
power right now.
but we're going to be running it with a group, and we're going to make sure it's run properly. We're going to rebuild the oil infrastructure, which will cost billions of dollars. It'll be paid for by the oil companies directly. They will be reimbursed for what they're doing, but that's going to be paid. And we're going to get the oil flowing the way it should be. As you know, it was just a minor flow. It was actually a minor flow for what they have. But we're going to run it properly, and we're going to make sure the people of Venezuela are taken care of. We're going to make sure the people that were forced out of Venezuela by this thug are also taken care of.
What? President, does the U.S. running the country mean that U.S. troops will be on the ground? How will that work?
Well, you know, they always say boots on the ground. Oh, so we're not afraid of boots.
I would say it's like having another producer in the room that knows exactly what you're saying. This is co-producer. The fast.
My bad.
We're not afraid of it. We don't mind saying it, but we're going to make sure that that country is run properly. We're not doing this in vain. This is a very dangerous attack. This is an attack that could have gone very, very badly. Could have gone very badly. We could have lost a lot of people last night. We could have lost a lot of dignity. We could have lost a lot of equipment. The equipment is less important, but we could have lost a lot. And we're going to make sure that this is proper. We're there now. We're ready to go again if we have to. We're going to run the country right. It's going to be run very judiciously, very fairly. It's going to make a lot of money. We're going to give money to the people. We're going to reimburse people that were taken advantage of. We're going to take care of everybody. It's very important. We couldn't let them get away with it. You know, they stole our oil. We built that whole industry there, and they just took it over like we were nothing. And we had a president that decided not to do anything about it. So we did something about it. We're late, but we did something about it. Yeah, please.
President, will you explain the exact mechanism by which you're going to run the country? Are you going to designate a U.S. official to coordinate?
It's all being done right now. We're designating people.
Chicago Rilla, he freed the people of Venezuela. The Venezuelans are happy right now. You know all them Tren de Aragua people that was in Chicago? Not all of them are criminals. A lot of those people are going to go back to Venezuela now, man. He just said it.
We're talking to people. We're designating various people, and we're going to let you know who those people are.
That would run Venezuela.
Well, it's largely going to be for a period of time, the people that are standing right behind me. We're going to be running it. We're going to be bringing it back. It's a dead, you know, I talk about a dead country. A year and a half ago, we were a dead country. Now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. We're a country doing better than any country anywhere in the world. And it required leadership.
Why you hate, Ricardo, why you hating the Venezuelan people? You don't care because you're not Venezuelan. You don't care because you don't have to exile out of your country. These people are crying tears of joy because of this. Tears of joy. This guy was a dictator for over a decade, but Ricardo, you don't care because you're Haitian.
Bing bang. Venezuela has a lot of bad people in there, a lot of bad people that shouldn't be leading. We're not going to take a chance that one of those people take over for Maduro. So you can look at, and others, we have fantastic people, including people in the military. So we're going to have a group of people running it until such time as it can be put back on track, make a lot of money for the people, and give people a great way of life. And also,
see, this is that gaslighting shit. Not all Venezuelans.
What?
Of course, not all, but like 90% of them.
So reimbursement for people in our country that were forced out of Venezuela.
Rubio would be.
You said earlier today that you weren't going to back Machado to come back and be the opposition leader in your Fox and Friends interview. And then you also mentioned the vice president of Venezuela. Are you going to work with the vice president of Venezuela, or how do you foresee the relationship
Well,
going?
I understand she was just sworn in, but she was, as you know, picked by Maduro. So Marco's working on that directly. He's just had a conversation with her, and she's essentially willing to do what we think is necessary to make Venezuela great again. Very simple.
Make Venezuela great again.
A couple weeks ago, you said he's got to watch his ass. And today, he said he's not concerned about anything happening to him in the aftermath.
Earlier, this gangster shit. We're gonna replay it. Earlier, he said, they effed around and found out. That's gangster.
For this operation. So just what your message is
Well,
about
he
that.
has cocaine mills. He has factories where he makes cocaine. And yeah, I think I stick by my first statement. He's making cocaine. They're sending it into the United States.
all
So
about oil.
he does have to watch his ass.
It's all about oil.
Mr. President, did you notify any members of Congress?
Was he a dictator? Yes or no? Was he abusing people? Yes or no? Was he frauding the elections? Maduro? Yes or no? Were people leaving the country in hordes? Yes or no? Why are we acting like we don't know? See, I just found out about this. I've been following this for years. People literally burned Venezuelan money. It had no value. It's lost all its value. This violence. People have curfew. People don't even leave their house at nighttime. But y'all don't care. All y'all thinking about is oil. Nigga, he just freed these people. There's people crying online. Tears of joy. Y'all don't know about dictatorship. Y'all never lived under that. Y'all say Trump is a dictator. And listen, man, I'm not ultra team Trump. I'm not a big team Trump fan. I didn't even vote for him. I didn't vote. But I love to troll y'all niggas because you guys listen to white liberals. Y'all do what the white liberals tell y'all to do. And I thought Malcolm X said, that's your worst enemy, a white liberal.
Congress in advance?
And Marco, do you want to talk about that? Because you were involved in it.
Sure. We call members of Congress immediately after. This was not the kind of mission that you can do congressional notification on. It was a trigger-based mission in which conditions had to be met night after night. We watched and monitored that for a number of days. So it's just simply not the kind of mission you can call people and say, hey, we may do this at some point in the next 15 days. But it's largely a law enforcement function. Remember, at the end of the day, at its core, this was an arrest
How you know he a
of
PDF?
2 indicted fugitives.
Oh, you voted for Kamala Harris, huh? You voted for Kamala Harris. You racist. That's racist! Because he's a white man. You don't like him, huh?
Fugitives of American justice, and the Department of War supported the Department of Justice in that job. Now, there are broader policy implications here, but it's just not the kind of mission that you can pre-notify because it endangers the mission.
Plus, if I could add one thing to that, Congress has a tendency to leak. This would not be good. If they leaked, General, I think it would have been maybe a very different result. But I have to say, they knew we were coming at some point, you know. We had a lot of ships out there. They sort of knew we were coming. We went through. But Congress will leak, and we don't want leakers.
Mr. President, you were one of the only people to watch this all play out live. What was Maduro doing when the U.S. forces entered what I assume would be his home? And also, was there any point where the U.S. was considering if Maduro pushed back or resisted killing Maduro?
It could have happened. It could have happened. He was trying to get into a safe place. You know what a safe place is? All steel. And he wasn't able to make it to the door because our guys were so fast. They went through the opposition so fast. And there was a lot of opposition. You know, people were wondering, do we get them by surprise? Sort of surprised, but they were waiting for something. It was a lot of opposition. There was a lot of gunfire. You saw some of it today. But he was trying to get to a safe place, which wasn't safe because we would have had the door blown up in about 47 seconds, they say on average, regardless of how thick the steel was. It was a very thick door. It was a very heavy door, but he was unable to get to that door. He made it to the door. He was unable to close it. Go ahead, finish.
Where is Maduro going to be in the time being right now? Do you know his exact
Well,
whereabouts?
eventually, ultimately, in the near future, he's going to be brought to New York.
And where is he going to be held? Where is he going to be held in New York? Do you know?
That's going to be up to the officials that do these things.
Mr. President, the U.S. has something of a mixed track record of ousting dictators.
A good guy. Yo, nigga, I'm about to block you, bro. Why you asking me stupid questions?
What?
Asking me is Epstein a good... I mean, you about to get blocked, man. Asking dumb questions, man.
Without necessarily a plan for what comes afterwards.
Not with
Did
me,
that weigh on your decision?
Well, that's when we had different presidents, but with me, that's not true. With me, we've had a perfect track record of winning. We win a lot, and we win. If you look at Soleimani, you look at al-Baghdadi, you look at the Midnight Hammer. Midnight Hammer was incredible. Right now, you wouldn't have peace in the Middle East. We have essentially peace in the Middle East because of that. If we weren't successful with Midnight Hammer, you wouldn't have peace in the Middle East. So With me, you've had a lot of victory. You've had only victories. You've had no losses. Yeah.
Mr. President, can you? How long do you expect the U.S. to run Venezuela, and how soon do you want Venezuelan people to hold elections?
So I'd like to do it quickly, but it takes a period of time. You know, we're rebuilding. We have to rebuild their whole infrastructure. The infrastructure is rotted. It's actually very dangerous. It's a, blow up territory. Oil is very dangerous. It's a very dangerous thing to take out of the ground. Can kill a lot of people. It has killed a lot of people doing just that. The infrastructure is old. It's rotted. Much of it is stuff that we put there 25 years ago, and we're going to be replacing it. And we're going to take a lot of money out so that we can take care of the country. Yeah.
Are you saying that Secretary Rubio and
Mr. President, China, Russia, and
Ricardo,
Iran
how you
have
been, though?
interests
How you
in
been, Ricardo?
Venezuela. How does this operation affect your relationships with them when
Well,
it comes to the
in terms
oil
of
and
China
drugs?
and Russia, Russia when we get things straightened out. But in terms of other countries that want oil, we're in the oil business. We're going to sell it to them. We're not going to say we're not going to give it to them. In other words, we'll be selling oil probably in much larger doses because they couldn't produce very much because their infrastructure was so bad. So we'll be selling large amounts of oil to other countries, many of whom are using it now. But I would say many more will come.
are you saying, Mr. President? Are you saying that, Mr. President? Are you saying that? Oh.
Mr. President, thank you. What is your message to the people of
Shout out,
Venezuela
Ricardo.
today?
Shout
Of
out to you,
course,
bro. Yeah, I'm good.
The civilian
I'm good, bro. Thank
population specifically, they have a lot of questions. What is your message to the people of
That
Venezuela?
you're going to have peace.
Happy New Year,
justice.
everybody.
You're going to have some of the riches that you should have had for a long period of time. It was stolen from you. But you're going to have peace and you're going to have safety. You're going to have justice. You're going to have a country. You're going to have a real country. You're going to have potentially a great country. You know, if you go back.
Ricardo, you know how this world works, Ricardo. You know it's not peaches and cream. You know it's dog eat dog. You know when Haiti in the 1800s, early 1800s, when they were a black republic, you know they were going around making moves trying to conquer shit. If they could, they would. Come on, man. You know it's a dog eat dog world. It's not sweet out here. You know that, Ricardo. It's chess. It's chess. It's Monopoly. You know how it go, man. You know how it go. If America don't keep making these strategic plays, China, Russia gonna come through and do what they gotta do. You know how it go, bro. Come on.
Back 20 years, maybe even a little longer ago, that was a great country, and they destroyed it. Remember I said that if we lose this election, the United States will be Venezuela on steroids. That's what would have happened. Had we lost the election, the 2024 election, we suffered so badly. When you look at the border from 2020, what they did, what Joe Biden administration did to our country should never be forgotten. But if we had to go through another year of that, we would be exactly where Venezuela was in terms. I used to say, if they win, we're going to be Venezuela on steroids. And that's what would have happened.
Thank you. Are you saying that Secretary Hegseth and Rubio are going to be running Venezuela, and will you be sending in U.S. military
They're going
troops
to be
to
a
provide?
team that's working with the people of Venezuela to make sure that we have Venezuela right. Because for us to just leave, who's going to take over? I mean, there is nobody to take over. You have a vice president who's been appointed by Maduro, and right now she's the vice president, and she's, I guess, the president. She was sworn as president just a little while ago. She had a long conversation with Marco, and she said, we'll do whatever you need. I think she was quite gracious, but she really doesn't have a choice. We're going to have this done right. We're not going to just do this with Maduro, then leave like everybody else, leave and say, let it go to hell. If we just left, it has zero chance of ever coming back. We'll run it properly. We'll run it professionally. We'll have the greatest oil companies in the world go in and invest billions and billions of dollars and take out money, use that money in Venezuela. And the biggest beneficiary are going to be the people of Venezuela. And also, I can't stress this strongly enough, the people that got thrown out of Venezuela that are now in the United States, and frankly, some want to stay and some probably want to go back. Yeah.
What's being done to protect Americans in the country, and were any of the detained Americans?
Well, right now they're
arrested
very
last night?
protected because nobody's going to mess with us. They're very protected. The people of, and we let them know that you better not touch one of them.
Sharon, you can't
Why
get cooked, you
are
little
you
liberal.
concerned that bad elements of the Maduro?
Yo, he right here. This one right here. This guy. Hey, shout out to LGBT and all them. But this right here, Sharon, he voted for Kamala. He voted for Kamala. Yo, you know, this country will be like Venezuela right now, man.
The regime will remain in place.
He's a
Well,
liberal.
we know who they are. We're
He's
on
a
'em,
liberal.
and they're acting much differently now than they would have acted 2 days ago. Okay, wait, behind you, please.
Mr. President, why is running a country in South America America first?
Well, I think it is because we want to surround ourselves with good neighbors. We want to surround ourselves with stability. We want to surround ourselves with energy. We have tremendous energy in that country. It's very important that we protect it. We need that for ourselves. We need that for the world. And we want to make sure we can protect it. Yes, sir. Please, go ahead.
Yeah, is there a message here for Cuba and Diaz-Canel?
Well, Cuba is an interesting case. Cuba is, not doing very well right now. That system has not been a very good one for Cuba. The people there have suffered for many, many years. And I think Cuba is going to be something we'll end up talking about because Cuba is a failing nation right now, very badly failing nation. And we want to help the people. It's very similar in the sense that we want to help the people in Cuba, but we want to also help the people that were forced out of Cuba and living in this country. Do you want to say something about that, Marco, please?
Well, I mean, I just gave you a statement a few minutes ago about, when the president speaks, you should take him seriously. So suffice it to say, Cuba is a disaster. It's run by incompetent, senile men, and in some cases, not senile, but incompetent nonetheless. It has no economy. It's in total collapse. And by the way, they were, all of the guards that helped protect Maduro, this is well known, their whole spy agency, all that were full of Cubans. I mean, it's amazing. This poor island took over Venezuela in some cases. One of the biggest problems the Venezuelans have is they have to declare independence from Cuba. They tried to basically colonize it from a security standpoint. So, yeah, look, if I lived in Havana and I was in the government, I'd be concerned, at least a little bit.
Cutting off the oil flow to Cuba from Venezuela?
Well, the president already announced a week ago that anything that's sanctioned oil, it's not going to be allowed to get there. So that's a pre-existing.
Mr. President.
The answer is yes. Yes.
Aware of the location of opposition leader Machado, and have you been in contact with her?
No, we haven't. No, we haven't.
Mr. President,
Do you have any hesitations about Machado?
Mr. President, on Monday.
Oh, I think it would be very tough for her to be the leader. She doesn't have the support within or the respect within the country. She's a very nice woman, but she doesn't have the respect to be the
Mr. President,
leader.
is it possible that the U.S. ends up administrating Venezuela for years?
Well, it won't cost us anything because the money coming out of the ground is very substantial. So it's not going to cost us anything. We will. Well, we want safety there. We want to be surrounded by countries that aren't housing all of our enemies all over the world. That's what was happening. And you don't want to have that. But we're going to be rebuilding and we're not spending money. The oil companies are going to go in. They're going to spend money. We're going to take back the oil that, frankly, we should have taken back a long time ago. A lot of money is coming out of the ground. We're going to get reimbursed for all of that. We're going to get reimbursed for everything that we spend. So it's going to be a very important. This is a very big evening that took place last night. We have to be surrounded by safe, secure countries. And we also have to have energy. Very important. We have to have energy that's real energy, not where they're getting 4% and 5% of the energy out of the ground. You take a look. It was such a disaster. So what's going to happen with Venezuela, I think, over the next period of a year is going to be a great thing. And the people of Venezuela will be the biggest beneficiaries.
Mr. President, U.S. military.
Mr. President, thank you. What did you last speak to Maduro about when you spoke? And is the
Well,
US
I don't want to get
at war
into
with
the
Venezuela?
conversations, but I did have conversations with him. And I said, you got to surrender. And I actually thought he was pretty close to doing so, but now he wished he did. Yeah.
Yeah, because now he's cooked, bro. If he would have surrendered, he would have left. He would have been straight. Now, he facing narco-terrorism and all that, man. Oh, and owning like weapons of mass destruction.
Is responsible for drug trafficking. You recently pardoned the former president of Honduras, who was convicted on many drug trafficking. Can you explain how these two situations are different?
Well,
would you ever pardon Maduro?
I endorsed, as you know, the winning president, the man who won in Honduras. I endorsed the man who won in Chile. I endorsed the man who won in Argentina. And we are doing very well with that whole group. What the man that I pardoned was, if you could equate it to us, he was treated like the Biden administration treated a man named Trump. That didn't work out too well for them. This was a man who was persecuted very unfairly. He was the head of the country. He was persecuted very unfairly. And there are a number of them. And we felt that it was a very unfair situation that happened to him. He's also a party member of the man who won. So obviously the people liked what I did. And one of the reasons that was done is because of the fact that the party in power felt very strongly that that man was treated very badly. I studied it very quickly, and then I studied it in great detail. I went to a lot of the people standing behind me, and they felt that that man was persecuted and treated very badly. That's why I gave him a pardon.
You referenced boots on the ground earlier. Can you just sort of button this up? Do you envision the U.S. military having a presence in Venezuela as the U.S. runs that country?
No, we're going to have a presence in Venezuela as it pertains to oil, because we have to have, we're sending our expertise in. So you may need something, not very much. But no, we're going to be taking out a tremendous amount of wealth out of the ground. And that wealth is going to the people of Venezuela and people from outside of Venezuela that used to be in Venezuela. And it goes also to the United States of America in the form of reimbursement for the damages caused us by that country. So I want to thank you all very much. Thank you. Do you have one? Yes, please. You were so nice before. I'm going to give you the final question. Go
Thank
ahead.
you, Mr.
Unless it's a
President.
bad question, in
It's
which
about
case I'll
Putin.
go one word. It's about who?
It's about Putin, if you want.
About Putin. Well, that's
Okay.
always nice
You had
to
a
talk
phone-
about Putin.
You had a phone call with him on Monday. Did he talk at all?
No, we didn't.
And
We
then-
never spoke about Maduro.
Are you mad at him right now? I mean, there's this
I'm not
intelligence.
thrilled with Putin. I'm not thrilled with Putin. He's killing too many people.
There was that
I
intelligence-
thought that would be so. I settled 8 1/4 war. You know what the 1/4 was? Thailand and Cambodia. I did it again. They broke out, and I did it in about 5 hours, and I settled it. I'm giving myself 1/4, so I'm up to now 8 1/4. In other words, I settled the war, but then they broke out. They had a pretty bad breakout over the last 4 days. I got them to go back to peace. So I only give 1/4. I thought the easiest one would be, one of the easier ones would be Russia, Ukraine. It's not. And they both have done some pretty bad things.
You said you get
And
nothing.
Look, that's Biden's war. That's not my war.
That's from that movie, something thicker than blood, something like that. It's that oil movie. Bing bang.
Bing bang. But I want to stop the lives. Did you see where last month, 30,000, it was 27,000 the month before. 30,000, mostly soldiers, were killed this last month. 30,000. I want to stop that. You know,
Listen, it's called Connect Team, and it's insane. I don't do schedules or timesheets.
I'm sorry, guys.
that they weren't paying. They weren't paying 2, now they pay 5. And we send them a lot of munitions. We send them a lot of things, missiles and
Hit the
various
like button.
other
Hit the
things, a
like
lot.
button, everybody.
And they pay. The United States is not losing money. We're probably making money on that.
We're talking about
It's the
Ukraine.
last thing I care about. I just want to stop all those people. We're losing 25, 30,000 human beings that come from 2 places that are very far away. But if I can stop, because it's something I've been pretty good at doing, deals, I guess. It's all a deal. Life is a big deal. But if I can stop that war and stop 30,000 young people, in addition to the fact that people are being killed in Kiev, people are being killed in other cities throughout, a much smaller number, but they're being killed, viciously killed. So I'm not happy about it. I thought that would be something that would get solved. We have Mr. Witkoff here. I think that we're making progress, but
Yo, real quick, look at this, yo. Look, the lady. I guess that's the vice president or whatever. In Venezuela, she's thrilled. Lady, you about to get cooked. You look, she's ugly. She look like Michael Myers. Bing bang. She look like Michael Myers, bro. She's cooked. She happy, baby. You getting up out of there. You about to get up out of there. She was appointed by Maduro. You might get booked too, baby.
That's a war that should have never happened. If I were president, it would have never happened. Putin says it. Everybody says it. If I were president, that would have never happened. But I inherited that war. That was Joe Biden, Zelensky, and Putin. I came into the situation, and it's a mess.
Oh, she's the
and
opposition?
I will say this.
Okay,
I watched
my
an
bad, my
operation
bad.
last night that was so precise, that was so brilliant. I mean, it was incredible. If we had our people, like this general, and our people involved, that war would not have gone on very long. That I can tell you. That war, to use it.
Yo, listen, guys. At 3 o'clock, so I'm gonna probably be here for a little while longer. At 3 o'clock, there's gonna be a march. They're doing. Somebody posted it on Facebook. Oh, no war versus Venezuela, bro. There's no war. It's over. That was a drill. That was like a raid. That was that was I don't, what else can you call that? A raid, a drill, a operation. They're talking about war, bro. I'm gonna bring my camera. You know, I've been uploading videos. I'm gonna bring my camera. I'm gonna charge it up, and I'm gonna roast these people. I'm gonna troll them, and I'm gonna bring my Trump hat. I'm gonna have to bring a pocket knife too, just in case you heard. Just in case you heard.
Term, that war has become a bloodbath, and we want it to get stopped. Thank you very much.
You're concerned a rogue Venezuelan general can take over the country.
All right, there you have it. President Trump, along with other members of his administration.
All right, it's done. Wait, we could probably watch like the first few minutes, because we missed like 5 minutes of Trump when he first came up. We missed like 5 minutes. So
for New York, where he has been indicted. He and his wife both indicted and expected to.
Yo, that, you know the crazy part, guys, real quick? Him and his wife. Intrépido, what's up? Listen, they took him and his wife. I know he feels stupid. He's a racist. Yo, bro. Oh, yo. Come on, my guy. Alec, come on, man. Chill with the verbiage. Come on, man. Stop, man. Stop. You're comparing him to the mustache man? Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Yo, you're wild. You're bugging, bro. You're bug. How can you compare him to that man? What is wrong with you, yo? What is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? How is he racist? What is wrong? So you don't think the people right now in Venezuela are happy? You don't think the civilians are happy right now? The citizens, you don't think they're happy right now? Or all the people that are separated from their family because of all the violence that's going on over there? You don't think they're happy right now? Come on, what is wrong with y'all, yo? What is wrong? Y'all gotta grow up, man. I know you guys are, racist. That's racist! And y'all hate white people, but y'all gotta relax, man. Y'all gotta relax, man. I can't. As a matter of fact, I could, but you gotta listen, Captain. You can't say Hitler. Don't say that on my channel. Don't say PDF. Don't talk like that. Listen, Alec, that's gonna be your last time. Don't use them words, or you're just gonna get blocked. Don't do it again. You can disagree. It's okay. You can disagree. It's all right. Alec, you can disagree, but watch your language. Watch your language. All right, but just watch it. Respect, man, because just respect. Just watch your language. You gotta need respect. You can disagree with me, and that's okay. At the end of the day, we're all American here. Or we all live in America. So guess what? Whoever our president is, we want the best for our country, right? I don't care if it was Kamala. I don't care when it was Biden. Listen. It don't matter who the president is. We should all want the best for our country, bro. I'm not the most asked to or the most well-versed when it comes to this stuff. But I just use my logical sense. I use my logical sense. This is why. Let me be honest with you. And we about to play the beginning of when Trump went up, because I missed like the first 4 or 5 minutes. But I was a fan of Trump before he was into politics. It seems everyone used to love Trump, and now everyone hates him. This is weird. Well, yeah, it makes sense because the opposition, they demonize him. It's a popularity contest. This is all it is. You have to demonize your opponent. Call him racist. Call him racist. Say that he's hateful, and a bunch of people are not gonna vote for him. Come on, man. You guys gotta use your noggins, man. Y'all gotta use your noggins, man. But I like Trump outside of politics. That's all. And I think in my brain, I think genuinely he does care about the country. This is me. I think he cares about the country. I really do for some odd reason. He just gives me that feeling. I could be wrong. I don't know him personally. But I think he really cares about the... Come on, man. Yo, bro. The language, bro. Please respect. I don't want to ban nobody. Listen, I'm all about freedom of speech. You can disagree with me, but watch your language, man. That's all just respect the channel, man. Watch them words. YouTube, the internet, the algorithm is sensitive with that stuff. You can disagree, that's fine. But watch the language, guys. That's why I don't want to ban people. It's corny. I don't like banning, blocking people.
Face some serious charges.
So we're about to watch like the first 4 or 5 minutes because we missed it. So let's find the 4 or 5 minutes. Okay, right here.
Forces conducted an extraordinary military operation in the capital of Venezuela. Overwhelming American military power, air, land, and sea, was used to launch a spectacular assault. And it was an assault like people have not seen since World War II. It was a force against a heavily fortified military fortress in the heart of Caracas to bring outlaw dictator Nicolas Maduro to justice. This was one of the most stunning, effective, and powerful displays of American military might and competence in American history. And if you think about it, we've done some other good ones like the attack on Soleimani, the attack on al-Baghdadi, and the obliteration and decimation of the Iran nuclear sites just recently in an operation known as Midnight Hammer. All perfectly executed and done. No nation in the world could achieve what America achieved yesterday, or frankly, in just a short period of time. All Venezuelan military capacities were rendered powerless as the men and women of our military, working with U.S. law enforcement, successfully captured Maduro in the dead of night. It was dark.
Not true, brother. Not true. Dizzy, what country are you from again, Dizzy? I know you're from South America. What country? I forgot. Dizzy. Everyone's going to go back home. They're going to go back home.
The lights of Caracas were largely turned off due to a certain expertise that we have. It was dark and it was deadly. But captured along with his wife, Celia Flores, both of whom now face American justice. Maduro and Flores have been indicted in the Southern District of New York, Jay Clayton, for their campaign of deadly narco-terrorism against the United States and its citizens. I want to thank the men and women of our military who achieved such an extraordinary success overnight with breathtaking speed, power, precision, and competence. You rarely see anything like it. You've seen some raids in this country that didn't go so well.
Listen, man, fuck what y'all talking about. This is what we need. Sometimes you got to play the bad guy. Sometimes you... Hey, it's okay. I'll be the bad guy. Y'all seen Scarface, man.
They were an embarrassment If you look back to Afghanistan, or if you look back to the Jimmy Carter days, they were different days. We're a respected country again, like never before. These highly trained warriors operating in collaboration with U.S. law enforcement caught them in a very ready position. They were waiting for us. They knew we had many ships out in the sea. We're just sort of waiting. They knew we were coming. So they were in what's called a ready position. But they were completely overwhelmed and very quickly incapacitated. If you would have seen what I saw last night, you would have been very impressed. I'm not sure that you'll ever get to see it, but it was an incredible thing to see. Not a single American service member was killed, and not a single piece of American equipment was lost. We had many helicopters, many planes, many people involved in that fight. But think of that, not one piece of military equipment was lost, not one service member was, more importantly, killed. The United States military is the strongest and most fearsome military on the planet by far. With capabilities and skills our enemies can scarcely begin to imagine. We have the best equipment anywhere in the world. There's no equipment like what we have. And you see that even if you just look at the boats. You know, we've knocked out 97% of the drugs coming in by sea. 90%. Each boat kills on average, 25,000 people. We knocked out 97%. And those drugs mostly come from a place called Venezuela. We're going to run the country until such time as we...
Dizzy, you from Venezuela, right, Dizzy?
...can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. So we don't want to be involved with having somebody else get in, and we have the same situation that we had for the last long period of years. So we are going to run the country until such time as we can do a safe, proper, and judicious transition. And it has to be judicious because that's what we're all about. We want peace, liberty, and justice for the great people of Venezuela. And that includes many from Venezuela that are now living in the United States and want to go back to their country. It's their homeland. We can't take a chance that somebody else takes over Venezuela that doesn't have the good of the Venezuelan people in mind. We've had decades of that. We're not going to let that happen. We're there now, and what people don't understand, but they understand as I say this, we're there now, but we're going to stay until such time as the proper transition can take place. So we're going to stay until such time as we're going to run it, essentially, until such time as a proper transition can take place. As everyone knows, the oil business in Venezuela has been a bust, a total bust, for a long period of time. They were pumping almost nothing by comparison to what they could have been pumping and what could have taken place. We're going to have our very large United States oil companies, the biggest anywhere in the world, go in, spend billions of dollars, fix the badly broken infrastructure, the oil infrastructure, and start making money for the country. And we are ready to stage a second and much larger attack if we need to do so. So we were prepared to do a second wave if
necessary.
We needed to do so. We actually assumed that a second wave would be necessary, but now it's probably not. The first wave, if you'd like to call it that, the first attack was so successful, we probably don't have to do a second, but we're prepared to do a second wave, a much bigger wave, actually. This was pinpoint, but we have a much bigger wave that probably won't have to do. This partnership of Venezuela with the United States of America, a country that everybody wants to be involved with because of what we were able to do and accomplish, will make the people of Venezuela rich, independent, and safe. And it will also make the many, many people from Venezuela that are living in the United States extremely happy. They suffered. They suffered. So much was taken from them. They're not going to suffer anymore. The illegitimate dictator Maduro was the kingpin of a vast criminal network responsible for trafficking colossal amounts of deadly and illicit drugs into the United States. As alleged in the indictment, he personally oversaw the vicious cartel known as Cartel de las Solas, which flooded our nation with...
Real quick, y'all. So Putin, y'all seen this? Putin. So Dizzy, you are from Venezuela, right, Dizzy? Putin. So it says Russia condemns the USA for its act of armed aggression against Venezuela. So he don't like that, and he's trying to make sure that Venezuela. He stated that he hopes Venezuela stays in its sovereignty. You know that that USA, doesn't go over there and just take over. They're not gonna do that. But I think, listen, now they're gonna send a lot of these Venezuelans back home. And like all over South America, and then even like you go to Dominican Republic, there's a lot of Venezuelans there in DR. We open the doors for them. You know what I mean?
Lethal poison responsible for the deaths of countless Americans, the many, many Americans, hundreds of thousands over the years of Americans died because of him. Maduro and his wife will soon face the full might of American justice and stand trial on American soil. Right now, they're on a ship they'll be heading to, ultimately, New York. And then a decision will be made, I assume, between New York and Miami or Florida. But we have people where the overwhelming evidence of their crimes will be presented in a court of law. And I've seen it. I've seen what we have. It's both horrible and breathtaking that something like this could have been allowed to take place. For many years after his term as president of Venezuela expired, Maduro remained in power and waged a ceaseless campaign of violence, terror, and subversion against the United States of America, threatening not only our people, but the stability of the entire region. And you all saw it. In addition to trafficking gigantic amounts of illegal drugs that inflicted untold suffering and human destruction all over the country, all over in particular the United States, Maduro sent savage and murderous gangs, including the bloodthirsty prison gang Tren de Aragua, to terrorize American communities nationwide. And he did indeed. They were in Colorado. They took over apartment complexes. They cut the fingers off people if they called police.
God damn.
They were brutal. But they're not so brutal now. And I just have to congratulate our military, Pete and everybody, and our National Guard, because the job that they've done, whether it's in Washington, D.C., where we have a totally safe city, where it was one of the most unsafe cities anywhere in the world, frankly, and now we have no crime in Washington.
I had a crazy idea. We were surprised that no one had done it before.
Shout out to everybody in the building. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. Let's get it.
A little bit of a different kind of a threat, but we haven't had a killing in a long period of time, 6-7 months. We used to have on average two a week in Washington, our capital. We don't have that anymore. The restaurants are opening. Everyone's happy. They're walking their daughters. They're walking their children, their wives. They walk to restaurants. Restaurants are opening all over Washington, D.C. So I want to thank the National Guard. I want to thank our military. And I want to thank law enforcement. Been amazing. And they should do it with more cities. We're doing it, as you know, and we're doing it in Memphis, Tennessee right now, and crime is down. We've just sort of started a few weeks ago, but crime is down now 77%. And The governor of Louisiana called, great person, and he wanted us to help him, as you know, in a certain very nice part of Louisiana, and we have done that. And it was a rough section, and we have crime down. I understand it's down to almost nothing already after 2.5 weeks. New Orleans, it's down to almost nothing, and we've only been there for 2.5 weeks. Can't imagine why governors wouldn't want us to help. We also helped, as you know, in Chicago, and crime went down a little bit there. We did a very small help because we had no.
I'm about to I'm gonna charge my camera and my equipment because I'm gonna go pull up because they're having the protest, and I'm gonna go over there troll, and I got my Trump hat, and I'm gonna bring a switchblade just in case, you heard. Just in case, because you never know.
We had no working ability with the governor. The governor was a disaster, and the mayor was a disaster, but it knocked down crime. But we're pulling out of there. When they need us, we'll know. You'll know. You'll be writing about it. And likewise, Los Angeles, where we saved Los Angeles early on, where the head of the police department made a statement that if the federal government didn't come in, we would have lost Los Angeles. That's long after the fires. That's when they had the riots in Los Angeles. We did a great job. Got no credit for it whatsoever, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. We don't need the credit. But we'll be pulling out when they need us. They'll call, or we'll go back if we have to. We'll go back. But we did a great job in various cities. But the place that we're very proud of is Washington, D.C., because it's our nation's capital. We took it from being a crime-ridden mess to being one of the safest cities in the country. But the gangs that they sent raped, tortured, and murdered American women and children. They were in all of the cities I mentioned, Tren de Aragua. And they were sent by Maduro to terrorize our people. And now Maduro will never again be able to threaten an American citizen or anybody from Venezuela. There will no longer be threats. For years, I've highlighted the stories of those innocent Americans whose lives were so heartlessly robbed by this Venezuelan terrorist organization. Really one of the worst. One of the worst. They say the worst. Americans like 12-year-old Jocelyn Nungari from Houston. Beautiful Jocelyn.
Dizzy. So your government back home is not corrupt?
Nungari, what happened to her?
You for Maduro?
They, as you know, they kidnapped, assaulted, and murdered by Tren de Aragua animals. They murdered Jocelyn and left her dead under the bridge. There was a bridge that will never be the same to so many people after seeing what happened. As I've said many times, the Maduro regime emptied out their prisons, sent their worst and most violent monsters into the United States to steal American lives. And they came from mental institutions and insane asylums. They came from prisons and jails. The reason I say both, they sound similar. Actually, prisons, a little bit more hostile, a little bit tougher. A mental institution isn't as tough as an insane asylum, but we got them both. They sent from their mental institutions. They sent from their jails, prisons. They were drug dealers. They were drug kingpins. They sent everybody bad into the United States, but no longer. And we have now a border where nobody gets through.
Dizzy, you're confusing me.
In addition, Venezuela unilaterally seized and stole
Venezuela. Dizzy, I don't get it. So are people in your country not happy that this happened? Or no, they're all upset? Which one is it? Are they happy or are they upset? Because I was hearing there was a curfew, that the people couldn't go outside past a certain time. Because if not, people get their head chopped off or getting beat up or whatever. Kidnapped, shot, clap, all that. So are you happy this happened or not? You got to let me know. You got to let me know.
American oil, American assets, and American platforms, costing us billions and billions of dollars. They did this a while ago, but we never had a president that did anything about it. They took all of our property. It was our property. We built it. And we never had a president that decided to do anything about it. Instead, they fought wars that were 10,000 miles away. We built Venezuela oil industry with American talent, drive, and skill, and the socialist regime stole it from us during those previous administrations, and they stole it through force. This constituted one of the largest thefts of American property in the history of our country. Considered the largest theft of property in the history of our country. Massive oil infrastructure was taken like we were babies, and we didn't do anything about it. I would have done something about it. America will never allow foreign powers to rob our people or drive us back into and out of our own hemisphere. That's what they did. Furthermore, under the now deposed dictator Maduro, Venezuela was increasingly hosting foreign adversaries in our region and acquiring menacing offensive weapons that could threaten U.S. interests and lives. And they used those weapons last night. Potentially in league with the cartels operating along our border. All of these actions were in gross violation of the core principles of American foreign policy, dating back more than 2 centuries. And not anymore. All the way back, it dated to the Monroe Doctrines. And the Monroe Doctrine is a big deal. But we've superseded it by a lot. By a real lot. They now call it the Monroe Document. I don't know. It's Monroe Doctrine. We sort of forgot about it. It was very important, but we forgot about it. We don't forget about it anymore. Under our new national security strategy, American dominance in the Western Hemisphere will never be questioned again. Won't happen. So just in concluding, for decades, other administrations have neglected or even contributed to these growing security threats in the Western Hemisphere. Under the Trump administration, we are reasserting American power in a very powerful way in our home region. And our home region is very different than it was just a short while ago. The future will be, and we did this in my first term. We had great dominance in my first term, and we have far greater dominance right now. Everyone's coming back to us. The future will be determined by the ability to protect commerce and territory and resources that are core to national security. These are core to our national security. Just like tariffs.
Fair use.
They've made our country rich, and they've made our national security strong.
All right, y'all. It's been real. It's pretty much done. I'm tired. I'm sleepy. I broke night last night. I'm about to go try to head to this. I'm gonna head to this protest. That way I control people. I got my Trump hat. I got my camera. I got my portable mics and all that. I'm gonna make sure everything is charged up. So I could get some great footage, you heard? So hey, listen, man. If you're new here, subscribe, hit the like button. I might be live later tonight on a whole different topic. But make sure to review all my videos. And yeah, we out of here, man. Peace, 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 peace.